Live from downtown Vancouver at the Vancouver Film School campus, it's time for EP Live. Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool, and it's a very cool and very fun job, especially when we have people in the house here at 390 West Hastings. Thank you very much for coming down. Thank you. We have got a great show for you guys today. We've got a couple of fantastic friends of Electric Playground. One of them is named Chris Stewart. He's from Kerberos Productions. I always screw up his name. He's going to kill me. We're going to be talking about his new game, The Pit Infinity. And I've known Chris forever. We actually used to share an office building, and he was in demo material that we used to use for Electric Playground. Awesome dude, and can't wait to have him on. And then our old friend Marissa Roberto is going to be on a little bit later on the show, beaming in over the internet to tell us about some of the things that she is most excited about at E3. But before we get into our great conversations, we've got a little bit of news to get to in the rundown, and this one's going out to Chris Kioski, who says, what an awesome guest. He was talking about Steve Reckschaftner, who was on the other day talking about the glory days of EA Sports Big, which I miss very much. All right, let's get started with your rundown. Nintendo isn't waiting for E3 to unleash some very effective news about one of their biggest games. Earlier today, they held a special Nintendo Direct presentation dedicated to Pokemon Sword and Shield, revealing that the new games will hit the Switch on November 15th. They also unveiled new Pokemon, including the legendary Zacian and Zamazenta. You guys can correct me anywhere you want to. Who, like the title of the games themselves, are armed with a sword or shield. Unlike last year's simplified Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Sword and Shield are more in-depth RPGs, and they're part of the core Pokemon series, making them the first Pokemon RPGs for the Switch, or any console for that matter. All that extra hardware means bigger and more intricate levels, big battles, larger environments, and more gameplay variety, and a stronger emphasis on exploration reminiscent of another big Switch title, Breath of the Wild. Expect more details on Sword and Shield at E3 next week. And this is the thing, Nintendo has revealed a whole bunch of stuff already. We know they're going to have the Pokemon games, the Zelda game, the remake of the GBA game. We're going to have Animal Crossing. It feels like a lot of their big reveals are going to be there, so I am super psyched to see what they're going to surprise us with. They might not have a big one to surprise us. I mean, they've got like 5 massive games coming out for the Switch this year. When I look at Pokemon Sword and Shield, it to me feels like it's the Pokemon developers unbridled. They have all the horsepower, and they can sort of envision and dream up these Pokemon battles as big as they want to go, and it looks amazing. It looks like this is the crystallization, no pun intended, of the Pokemon games we have wished for a very long time. And hopefully they don't let us down, but they look amazing and clearly taking inspiration from massive games like Breath of the Wild. And, you know, I think the reach, the ambition that Nintendo has had with recent titles, not only with that, with Yoshi's Crafted World, with Super Mario Odyssey, you know, they want to, this development team, which has stayed in the kind of handheld market for a long time, they want to play with the big boys with the new Pokemon game, and I think they will. I think Sword and Shield is going to be incredible. Sword or Shield. Let me get that correct. Now, online hackers have forced another big studio to unveil one of their big E3 games a little bit early. After details on the next Watch Dogs game leaked online, Ubisoft officially confirmed that it's on the way. No footage has been released, but they have said that the new game is called Watch Dogs Legion and will take place in London, England, the surveillance capital of the world. That's all Ubisoft has said for now, but the game will be shown off during their E3 presentation on Monday. Now, rumors about this game started circulating months ago, and it felt like a pretty surefire kind of idea. You know, it feels like when you talk about any kind of hacking or surveillance, which is a huge part of, the Watch Dogs experience, London feels like a natural home for a game like this, and I'm excited to see, because, you know, I have this theory, when you let a developer have 3 kicks at a concept, usually that third one is pretty damn special, like, you know, the third Burnout game or the third Grand Theft Auto. There's lots of, you know, reference points that we can point to in the history of video games where that makes a big difference when you get a developer having that chance to go at it again. And hopefully London is third time's the charm. You know, not that Watch Dogs 2 was that bad. Even the first Watch Dogs was pretty fun. But Watch Dogs 3, I think this is Ubisoft's opportunity to prove it. and to really kind of showcase what this thing is all about and what differentiates itself from the other, open world games that they themselves make, but also games like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead. There's tons of competition. It used to just be like you'd be competing with a couple titles in Grand Theft, but now if there's an open world game from everybody, including the aforementioned Nintendo with Breath of the Wild. So let's see what happens with Watch Dogs in London. I'm excited about that. I do hope they don't lean too far and too much on the Guy Ritchie tropes. I don't want it to be Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I don't want it to be the Getaway remake, even though those were awesome in their own right. And what Guy Ritchie used to do was awesome in its own right. I'm a big fan of his early work. I want there to be stuff that really surprises us. Maybe taking a little bit of that as influence, but shocking us with some new ideas and sort of what a modern day London is, or maybe just a little bit into the future kind of London. I think that would be rad. Speaking of London, don't expect to be seeing the bat signal at E3. Batman Arkham developer Rocksteady Games will be skipping the event this year. Boo! And won't be showing off their long-awaited next project. That's according to Rocksteady co-founder Sefton Hill, who says that they're staying home to continue working on their unannounced new game, and there's no word on when we'll be seeing it. It's rumored to be another DC superhero outing, possibly featuring Batman alongside other heroes like Superman, although it could be something completely different. We'll just have to keep on waiting. It's pretty clear to me that Rocksteady is moving into the we're going to ship one big game per console life cycle kind of scenario. Although next life cycle for the consoles might be the last, especially if we're all moving towards streaming. But clearly, Rocksteady is kind of a victim of its own success, and they have to one-up themselves. And that can be harrowing. That can be a very hard thing for mega successful studios like that. And they need to not only take the time, but they got to hire up, they got to bring in hundreds of people, and the escalation in the technologies that all of these new, hardware cycles mean for developers is they have to kind of, learn it all over again, and then they got to train a bunch of junior people to kind of get into their systems and work with all the software rendering pipelines and the engines and stuff, the technologies that they've had. And Rocksteady really benefited, from the first Arkham Asylum, from being kind of an indie house. They were kind of small. They were kind of just figuring it out, and they had a very tight team that knew they had something to prove with that first Batman game, and they did. And they got another kick at it and grew to make City, and they grew again for Arkham Knight. But now the pressure's on them to knock it out of the park. And if they're putting Superman into this game, man, that is some heavy pressure. So I don't blame them if they're not ready to show it yet. That's okay. We'll wait. Now there is another rumor, and I don't know if you caught any of this, Blake, or if we have footage of anything around this. But Warner Brothers Montreal has been sort of intimating and hinting that they've got a Bat project of their own, and the speculation is we may see something on that game at E3. And I do have an appointment with Warner Brothers. So far, they've only said they're showing me a Lego thing, but I'm really hoping I'm going to see some bat ears, not just Lego versions, in whatever they've got to show me. I'm getting excited, guys. After sending Star Wars to hyperspace, it looks like Disney is taking their time with the other big Lucasfilm property. The next Indiana Jones movie isn't slated to begin filming until 2020. Star Harrison Ford made the announcement while speaking at the launch of the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge attraction at Disneyland, saying that cameras will begin rolling next year. Several outlets initially misreported, saying that he said filming will begin next week, but that would be a little premature, as next year makes more sense given the film's planned release date of July 8th, 2021. This means Harrison Ford will be 78 years old during production and will be just a few weeks away from turning 79 when the film hits theaters. You go, Harrison Ford! I don't care how old you are, buddy! I love you! I think it's awesome that we've got almost an octogenarian that's ready to put on the fedora and go kick some Nazi ass. Or maybe they're going to be commies. I don't know. I don't know where they're setting it. But I'm there. Certainly the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull has its flaws and faults, and many people have written all of that off. But God, it's Harrison Ford, people. he has proven himself. He gets all the rope he wants to play with, man. All the whip he wants to play with. I can't wait for that. And I think what's happening is Spielberg is he's doing West Side Story, I think, the musical. That's his next movie in the pipeline. So again, a director ready to bounce from whatever. Remember he did Ready Player One 5 minutes ago? Guy's incredible. So hopefully, it's a little less extraterrestrial with the next Indiana Jones movie, and it's still fun. And we'll see. Did everybody see that he said that once he goes, Indy goes? He doesn't want anybody to be Indiana Jones. Epic quote. Yeah, it was really, really a funny quote. So good luck with that, everybody involved with Indiana Jones 5. I will be there with my ticket for day one. You count on it.